Hello everyone, Jorge Huertas once again with all of you. Today I'm gonna show you what is and how to use the goodwill. This video is also available in Spanish. Well, the goodwill is the perception of a brand or a business. It got the following characteristics. It is the name and recognition that a brand or a company has among the public, has been established by organizations over time. Goodwill represents the current value of the company or a brand in the market. This resource is essential when you are going to generate a business sale or are meet a new partner. In short terms, the goodwill is the good name and reputation that your company has. So this concept of goodwill is extremely important because sometimes people doesn't understand why buy a franchise costs so much money or why it's so necessary to bring someone else in the middle of this. So the goodwill is very important and I'm gonna show you how you can know how much your company cost. So the first thing that you need to know is that goodwill is the perception of the company. It means the naming, it means the branding, it means the recognitions that it gets in a specific subject. Of course, the company, if you have a high recognition, your value will be bigger. And of course, if your company is brand new and no one knows it, the value will be very low. Something that is very important is how to create and handle that kind of situation because sometimes people have a wrong approach to the goodwill and they believe that their company is very expensive and it got a lot of recognition, and the reality is completely opposite. So it's very important that you know how to handle that. Finally, time is a very important factor in this because it will allow you to know how much time you've been on the market. It's not the same if no one know me and I've never been working in that. So, for example, Coca-Cola is a company that has more than 100 years. In the tech industry, companies like Google, they've been in the world a long time. So people know them, but before that, they also have trust. So that trust is very, very important. So Goodwill got like different components that are very important that you need to keep in mind. The first one is the quality of your product or service. You could be new or you could be in a long time, but if you keep on the market, it's because the quality of your product or your service is good. If your quality of your product or service is not good, you probably will not stay on the market too much time. Also, the positioning. It's very important to keep that in mind because if you got a company, you have to have a network. You have to have a physically metrics to know how are you being perceived by people in social media. For example, if you have a lot of followers that they have been growing organically because they like your product, it's good. But if you buy those followers, perhaps that is not that good. Also, it's very important to know where is your company making presses, something international or something that is local, depending how much people is working and how much impact you got around. Also, something that is very important is the relationship that you have with your users, customers, clients. It's very important because they will give you a ranking of complaints that you got with your customers if they feel happy with the experience that they are receiving from your company. They could have voice to voice. It means that they recommend to someone else because they like it. But also, if their experience has not been good, they also can be voice to voice or something that is not positive. The trust is a bond, is a relations that you develop with your customers, and it's very important to understand that because if people believe in your business, in your development, the level of trust will be high. But if they don't believe in what they're looking for, they don't want to invest or have a good perception of what you are giving. It's also very important to understand when are you available for new business or new partner, because it's not always the case. If you have all the capital, perhaps you don't need someone else. But the goodwill is very important to know that the perception of your company is positive. There are some things that are not very easy to calculate. Actually, they are difficult. There is not an equation to calculate the goodwill of your company. And sometimes people here make mistakes because they could put a very high value of your company, but they can also put a really low value. So that is very important that you keep that in mind and to see how are you going to focus. How much does it cost my brand or my deal? You need to calculate that, but also all the reviews, all the perception, and how big is your company. It's very important, so you can keep that in mind. The reputation and the presence that you get from that is very important. So goodwill is not something that you develop from one day to another. It takes time, it takes money, and it takes that you have a good product, that you have a good service, that people like what they are receiving, and also that they feel comfortable with the different services that you are offering. As a conclusion, we can say that the goodwill of a business, it is essential and can value or devaluating depending of the experience that the users and consumers got. It takes a lot of variables: power, build, strength, and maintain it, to keep it that in mind. Because I could have a really good goodwill right now for my brand or my company, but if something bad happened, that could impact in the reputation of my organization. So that is something very important, because it's something that you need to keep working day by day and develop a bond and a business with that. Thank you so much. I hope this video was a big help in your education. Please subscribe to our channel, Design Thinking 24/7. Follow us on social media. Remember that every Monday we have a new video in Spanish. Every Thursday we have a new video in English. Our Udemy courses are already available. In the description of this video you can find the link. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.